Chris Chinnock here at NAB 2014. I'm here with Tim Laud in the, what is this, the ATSC 3.0 booth? Whose booth is this? Oh, it's Gates Air.
This is Gates Air, yeah. And we're showing Gates Air and Zenith and LG have combined to put together a proposal for ATSC 3.0. And this is our proposal that we made to ATSC for the next generation broadcast.
So as we talked about earlier, there's three main points you're trying to make with this demonstration. Tell us those 3 points.
We have increased bit capability in the channel. We have increased threshold to signal to noise. We can go down to lower signal to noise than before. And the third one, and we have increased flexibility over any other existing transmission system. So
what you're showing here today is basically some, well, all three of those points actually. Let's start with the demo that's showing a little bit off camera here. You've actually got three displays up here. It's a 4K display, an HD display, and an SD display. Excuse me. And within this 6 megahertz bandwidth, because of your coding efficiencies that you'll be able to do, you can now deliver actually all three of these within one 6 megahertz channel with a bandwidth, a data rate, a digital data rate of about 25 megabits per second, which is, what you say, maybe 30% increase over the ATSC 1.0, which is 19.4. Correct?
Correct. That's about the.
So one of the key points I think you wanted to make here was that you also can maintain a high quality with each of these particular transmissions. Not only can you do all three in one, but you can also provide them with high quality. So I think is the way you explained it to me. If you wanted to have a single 4K UHD channel, you could deliver that at 30 frames per second with the standard PSNR of 15 or so. And do that in that same 25 megabits per second data rate.
What we're running here is we're coding everything with HEVC, right, which gives us an efficiency in the video coding. What that means is with HEVC you can code a 4K video at about 16 megabits per second. So it's a 4K at 30 frames per second, and that fits well within the bandwidth available for the home step. We're also using that in our mobile modes so that we have an HD 720p at 30 frames per second running at 1.5 megabits per second, and an SD running at about 1 megabit per second. So all of those modes, those three videos, are actually higher resolution than the equivalent is being used in ATSC 1.0 today. And the HEVC brings that coding efficiency to us, but we also have increased bit capability with the error correction coding that we've built into this system.
Right, right. And I guess that's really half the key, well, it's one of the key points here is that you've got more bits to play with, more data rate, even within that same megahertz, 6 megahertz frame.
Right, we have more bits at slightly better signal to noise. Right. So not only do we gain bits, but we gain performance.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the other, and the flexibility message here is that operators have the ability to have a high quality channel if they want to use that capability. They have the ability to mix and match with SD, HD, and 4K. They have the ability to have a lot of HD channels or a lot of SD channels. It's flexible.
It's very flexible, and there's less restriction on how you do the combination than there are with other proposals in the system.
And then I guess the third point is robustness. So you can get ghosting and you can get interference, and you have to have good signal to be able to lock onto these. And one of the demos you're showing back here is the ability to actually get either an SD or an HD signal in a car traveling for anywhere from 50 to up to 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour, you're really down to SD resolution, but still good robustness and capability.
Yeah, the way we're showing it, that's correct. But I wanted to let you know that we could do higher resolution at the more robust high-speed mobile modes. It's just the way we've allocated our setup right here. It's so that The resolution is not what limits the robustness, it's how many bits you give it at that mode.
Okay, I gotcha. So this is a proposal now. It's going to go into the FCC. No?
This is going to the ATSC. ATSC has to decide what they're going to standardize on, and then they will present something more likely to the FCC.
Okay, thank you. So what's the time frame, do you think, for the ATSC's solicitation process?
ATSC has a timeline that they're attempting to follow, which will hopefully get us somewhere close to a system in a couple of years.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate the help.
You're welcome.
Chris Chinnock for Display Central.